Alright, so we're taking a look at elementals today, and this is a Sultai build. You can obviously do it in a bunch of different colors. A lot of the times you end up running red. But today we're going to shed red, and we're going to pick up blue, black, and green for a pretty cool Sultai deck. So this is, again, generally a deck that's going to be going around Risen Reef. This Simic Elemental is a really, really good card. Basically, it triggers on every elemental that enters the battlefield under your control, and you get to look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you get to put it onto the battlefield tapped, and if it's a non-land, it goes to your hand. So it's both card draw and a little bit of slow ramp. So we're going to try to gain a critical mass here and eventually combo out our opponents. So this is a combo deck, and while we initially need to get a board of elementals, what we're actually going to be trying to win with is Oracle of the Alphas. We're going to get a decently wide board and then use this card to conjure the Power 9 into our library. This is going to allow us to just get a bunch of mocks and take a bunch of extra turns and eventually just kill our opponent. So we eventually just need to get to a board state where we can have enough of these Oracle of the Alpha triggers. We need to be able to draw enough cards with Risen Reefs to get all these out. And that's pretty much the name of the game. So to help us do that, we have Yarok the Desecrated, another elemental. This card is going to double up all of the ETBs that our elementals give us. Or sorry, just of any permanent. So this Risen Reef trigger, this will be doubled for everything that comes in. If we have 2 Risen Reefs onto the battlefield, then a 2 becomes, or like a thing entering the battlefield becomes 4 triggers instead of just 2. So Yarok is pretty sweet. We're running 4 copies of him. We also have Nissa Resurgent Animist. She's pretty decent. She does help us find more elementals. Her kind of deal is that she is a landfall mana producer if it's the first land that entered the battlefield, and if it is specifically the second time, then you can start looking for more elementals. So she'll kind of help us keep going when we need to continue our pseudo storm turn. In terms of enablers, let's go over to Lotus Cobra. This is another landfall creature that didn't really get to see too much play out of Ikoria where it came from, but this is essentially doing the same thing that Nissa is doing. You could consider Nissa slightly, not necessarily pushed version of the Lotus Cobra, but a different version of it at a higher CMC. Pretty much this thing just does the mana production thing for whenever a land enters the battlefield. This will trigger multiple times per turn, and it will be doubled up with Yarok, so that's a thing to keep in mind. Then, just some other things that are decent. We have Cloud Conceer, draws a card when it enters, that gets doubled up with Yarok. Prosperous Innkeeper, when it enters, creates a treasure, so this becomes essentially a free spell with Yarok on the battlefield. And then whenever other creatures enter, you gain a life. And then there's Arboreal Grazer. This gets lands out of your hand. This is generally used as a early game ramp piece, and it's good because it's also a body. It's good because it can ramp us a bit, and overall it's a pretty good card. I generally like to play this. You can consider it pretty similar to like Cultivate on an early turn. It's just partial that value. And then the final card in this deck is another Invasion card. This is Invasion of Ikoria. This is the first time we've seen it on my channel, at least. This one on ETBs allows you to search for a creature with CMC X or less, so you pay however much you want into it. And then you basically can put it directly into the battlefield, and if you search this way, you shuffle. And you'll notice that this is an ETB ability, so this is actually doubled up by Yarok, which is pretty sweet. And then if you're able to flip this card eventually, you get Zalortha, Apex of Ikoria, just a big dumb creature that will be able to kill your opponent. So that's the deck. We are purely a Sultai deck, and our mana base reflects the fact that we need to get out early. We are basically going to try to find a Risen Reef early, either through Risen Reef or through Invasion. If we don't have that, then we'll just try to get a bunch of mana, and once we draw into the Risen Reef Yarok Invasion, then we'll kind of just pop off. We want to hold our Oracle of the Alphas until we have our draw engine online, because if we just get stuck into a situation where we're drawing just Moxen for a draw step every turn, then that kind of just sucks. So with that out of the way, if you have been enjoying the content, drop a like to support the channel, subscribe, that helps me out a lot. And let's hop in here and get into some round 1 gameplay. Here we go. Alright, here we go. This is round 1. Hand has not much of acceleration. The Arboreal Grazers, I guess, technically are that, but we don't have the 3rd land, so I'm going to mulligan it. This is good. This is much better. I'm going to get back the Oracle of the Alpha eventually, and then we are going to hopefully be able to find a blue mana source eventually. Let's see. So we do find our blue mana source. I will decide if I want to do anything other than just Prosperous Innkeeper now. Risen Reef has nothing currently to trigger with, so maybe I will do Innkeeper into Nissa. Nissa works best when we have a tapped land coming in, so I'll try to save the Zagoth Triumph for then. I guess that means I will just put this in tapped and let my opponent go. So then my next turn looks like this. Oh, so we do have a Lotus Cobra. That is kind of nice. I think what I'll start off with is Dark War Pathway into Nissa. Next turn it'll be a Lotus Cobra prior to everything going off, and then I'll just drop in Zagoth. This could be land destruction. Oh, it is land destruction, okay. Well, let's try to ramp over what our opponent's doing here. We're going to play a Lotus Cobra, get a Zagoth Triumph in, and we'll have double mana creation, so we can get an Innkeeper out as well. Sweet. That'll do, and we get an attack in as well. If this opponent is just on land destruction, then I think we're in a good situation right now. I was going to say we could deal with a Karn, we can deal with a lot of stuff, but dealing with something like that is going to be a problem. We get a Risen Reef out, we get a trigger, it is an Oracle. Hope that they can't kill Risen Reef. Looks like they'll just destroy my Zagoth. Okay. We still have access to all 3 of our colors, luckily. There's a Cloudkin Seer. Double trigger. Alright, we get a draw. That's kind of huge. Oracle can't go in here, so I'll put this in tapped. We'll swing in. And next turn we can Invasion for something. Primal Amulet. Okay, so they're going to try to copy their land destruction. We will put in a Slitherboar. And then that means we can Ikoria for 3. For 4, I can do this. And if I were to hold this for next turn, I could just get a Yarok. Ooh. I could just get a Yarok if I have 5 mana. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to Oracle then. And we're going to hope that our opponent isn't able to destroy another land, because that's going to throw us off this invasion plan. Ah, they got it. Okay. Fine. Yeah, so I think we're just going to have to get the invasion out early. 2 land destruction spells. Yeah, we're going to have to tap out here in order to get our invasion going. Okay, so yeah, pay 2 life. We're just going to find a Risen Reef. We have the ability to accelerate over their land destruction. Let's see. So I'm looking for a Risen Reef. There's none in my graveyard, so we'll get one out of here. I could get a Nissa or another Lotus Cobra, but the one that I have now is fine. We get some triggers. I will put that Zagoth Triumph in, and we find another Lotus Cobra. We are 1 off killing the invasion, so I'll put the Risen Reef at the face. Scry away an Arboreal Grazer, sweet. Invasion goes to 2, and I think if we flip that, we're probably looking good. Our opponent is basically trying to flip Primal Amulet in order to just land destruction us into the Stone Age, but we are looking like we're past that now. Carnage Tyrant, that's a problem. So what I can do is Lotus. And then this thing is on the ground, so I can just do this and that. Boom. We get to scry away another Arboreal Grazer. And now we get to flip our invasion. Alright, so now we have a blocker for the Carnage Tyrant, and if we draw anything, our Tomb will get us 2 extra mana. Feels good. That makes sense. Alright, sure. A lot of land destruction. Alright, so now they can start to copy their land destruction spells. But, does it matter? I can just go all in. Scry away. And we'll just deal enough damage to kill our opponent. They can't do anything but block the Zilortha. Okay, so not the way that we really expect to win these games, but a win nonetheless. Let's move on to round 2. Alright, round 2, here we go. Let's see what we can do. This hand's got the Risen Reef to begin with, and we do get the Lotus Cobra. I think this is keepable. I'm not super stoked on keeping this one specifically, though. This will be an exercise in can we draw a land in the first 3. And my historical data on this, if you could call it that, in my past videos has just shown that no, you can't really guarantee that you will. So we're going to see what happens here. I'm going to probably play this pathway on the Clearwater side. That's what I meant to say. They shock in, oh, this is going to be either Leyline or the land destruction variant. Okay. Here's Lotus Cobra. All we got to do is draw a land. Cataracts, yeah, this is going to be land destruction, I think. Hard to tell. Alright, and like I foresaw, we're not drawing our lands. It's either feast or famine here with this deck. Either we're going to just get like a million lands into play with Risen Reefs, or we'll be stuck without anything on our turn 3 play here. Okay, so cool. We needed this very badly. Let's go ahead and make something. It doesn't really matter what color I make. I can Oracle, I can Cloudkin and look for another land. I can Risen Reef first. I think I'll Risen Reef first to try to get a little bit of greedy value out of the Cloudkins here. Finding a land here is ideal. Okay, Risen Reef allows us to find a land, which is good. Oh, right, we don't play basics. Psych. Well, we do get an Arboreal Grazer out. That's at least a blocker. And we'll pass. Well, Assassin's Trophy here to remind you guys to put some basics into your deck. I was a little bit greedy with this one today, and I kind of did make the decision that I wanted to not include any basics with Risen Reef. It's kind of like neither here nor there, but if you're going to be putting all your lands into the battlefield tapped through Risen Reef, you might as well get ones that can cast all your different colors. Okay, so we have Cloudkins here to draw a card. That is something that can attack Vraska, which is good. We drew our 5-drop, which sucks. And this one might get away from us pretty quickly here with Vraska. Vraska is just going to pump their creatures, and so that kind of gives us a sight into what their opponent is trying to do, and that seems to just be go wide and then make everything tall. Westvale Abbey. Okay, that's interesting. Vorinclex is about to suck. We go down half our life. I'm going to chump block with... Or I won't chump block, but you know what I mean. We will block. Vraska back up to 6 is brutal. And now we don't really have anything else that we can do. We are able to soak up a Vorinclex hit. And now we're not able to. Okay, so do I see myself coming back from this? Not really. So I'll soak up 2 damage. take 7. Now we gotta produce a blocker. If I were to put a Lotus Cobra out and play a Deathcap Glade, I'd make 1 mana, which means I could cast an Oracle of the Alpha. We have to make specifically blue here. And now my game plan has to just be randomly draw into my Time Walk.
You won't be so lucky.
So I can block Vorinclex. I can survive this attack with 1 life. Wait. Okay, now I can. I couldn't before. Are they just trying to transform Westvale Abbey? Yeah, they are. Alright, here it is. Let's see this indestructible trampler. Does this have haste? And it's transformed, so yeah, it should, right? Okay, so I just died to a big flyer then, it looks like. It does have trample. No, just flying lifelink, so I could block it with the Grazer. It's not over, surprisingly. Wow, and we did rip a Time Walk. That is amazing. Now the question is, I have 2 flying blockers. Could I even possibly hope to draw another land? So if I play Nissa and then pass the turn, chump block, and I draw a land, I would have as much as 6 mana, but I would have 5, so it doesn't really matter. So I think I Time Walk. Time Walk, use the Scry with the Oracle to try to figure out something to do. Alright, so Yarok, not the move. We already have one in hand. I'm glad I was able to Scry like this. And we'll go to our extra turn. We'll find a Risen Reef. That has to be what I play. We have no triggers for it. If we draw a land, we can find another one, which is good. I'll Scry again with the Oracle, and this is potentially not... Ooh. Oh, this is almost good. I'm gonna have to Scry that away. I'll have to look for either a Moxen or for something else. Okay, so that attack was potentially not good because if they can remove Cloud Conceal, then it's bad. Can this give things trample? It cannot. Okay. So I have to go for the combo kill, which luckily this deck is able to do. Prosperous Innkeeper. Okay, so this is like functionally a land, I guess. I'm thinking here for a sec. Do I need to get a Nissa out? Would a Nissa even help? Doesn't really seem like it. So I can put out an Innkeeper, try to start gaining some life eventually. And then the question is, do I keep Invasion or do I just do another Oracle? I think I should play an Oracle because that means I can attack with the one that I have currently and scry into something. If opponent has an Assassin's Trophy, any sort of removal, then this attack is bad. I think I'll play with the assumption that my opponent doesn't have instant speed removal. I think they're holding up just Leyline. So we'll attack with Oracle, and honestly I can just attack with these things on the ground too. None of their lands animate. Another Zygoth Triumph. I keep getting screwed by this, but technically because I have Lotus Cobra it will work. And we will be able to get the Invasion of Ikoria out, and perhaps we will stay just a bit more alive. Now what I actually could do is Yarok this turn and then Invasion. Ooh, that could be a move. I have to block. Alright. Yeah, so play this. Make a mana. I have all the colors, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, and then I'm gonna play Yarok. My things on the ground can attack. And then Yarick is going to double trigger Risen Reef, which hopefully can double trigger Lotus Cobra. If we can get 2 lands out of this, then we feel really good and we can cast a Nissa. Otherwise, that might not be possible. Our opponent's waiting on their Leyline activation. Alright, so gain our life, we go back to 6. Eventually we might even be able to survive a hit from Ormondal. Got a Moxen. Okay, a Moxen is something. Notably, Yarick does have Lifelink and Death Touch. I will hop in with these 3 creatures. Oracle is going to have to chump block next turn. My Cloud Conceer can then be another flying blocker. They shock in for... Don't know what they're shocking in for. We are getting pretty lucky here. They haven't really drawn anything, like, notable. Alright, we'll see what my draw is here, or if they have something to kill my board. Any sort of board wipe does it, but we'll see. So, I need to produce a flying blocker here. I could be really, really greedy and go for invasion into something, into another Risen Reef, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play a little bit not crazy. So, I'm going to do Nissa. Oh wait, do I have enough? I have 6 mana plus whatever I make out of lands. So, I'll be able to have 5 mana here. Gain life, gain life. Cloud Conceer has to be played. Well, I think I actually do have enough to do invasion. Yeah, oh, well, now with this, of course I do. Alright, so we're going to make some of each color. It's funny how I have to go back and forth like this when this triggers. Alright, we've drawn back up and we found the Time Walk, so we actually might be able to do it here. Here comes another one of these. And I have 8 mana. So that's enough to invasion plus Time Walk. Okay, so invasion for 3. Well, here, let's do Time Walk first. Now invasion for 3. Can actually do it for 4, not that it really matters. Alright, and then now it's Risen Reef time. We'll get double Risen Reef here, and then just try to go off. This should be a turn that we can do it. And wow, our opponent agrees. Nice. So we were able to survive a flipped Westvale Abbey there. That was pretty scary. Ormondal, flying lifelink, indestructible haste. He's kind of just a little bit worse Merit Lage with more abilities on him. 9/7 lifelink though, that's hard to defeat, and indestructible too. Alright, well, the old elemental deck pulled through in round 2. Let's move on to round 3 and see if we can do it again. Alright, round 3. We've got a Cloud Conceer and a Nissa. I'm going to keep this because it has enough lands to get to what I eventually want to do. So let's make my turn 3 play Nissa, and then my turn 4 play Cloud Conceer. Alright, they're on red, and it's goblins, okay. We'll see if it's mono red or combo, could be either. Alright, ooh, and we did get a Risen Reef, that's cool. This can come in tapped, and then, let's see, now does turn 3 want to be a Risen Reef or not? Maybe turn 4 is Cloudkin? This way, well, they're not going to have removal, so... Yeah, I think I should start doing the Risen Reef then. We need to look for a quick game, or like a quick setup of our combo, and we also need to attempt to try to gain life. So finding Prosperous Innkeepers is a good thing. Here's Risen Reef. If they have instant speed removal in their Goblins deck, I'd be surprised. We have 3 Oracles of the Alpha. More than I generally like to see. Fanatical Firebrand can kill my Risen Reef now, so that's sad. I'm kind of being punished for having played it. That's unfortunate. Alright. Nissa into something else. Beautiful tapped. Now, our next turn we have 6 mana available. And we can Cloudkin into Oracle if we want to. Herald's Horn, the Goblin lifestyle is going strong. Looks like they didn't have a Muxus this turn, so we got spared a bit. Cool. So let's do this. Make a blue mana. Cast a Cloudkin Seer. Look for something else that's good. Yarok for the following turn. So I think I'll get an Oracle in first. The Oracle's a better blocker than a second Cloudkin Seer. And I'd like to save my final Cloudkin Seer for once there's a Yarok down onto the battlefield. No attacks, I'm just going to be blocking this game. And basically until we find a Muxus, I am looking okay. Conspicuous Snoop is a problem. Firebrand, I don't care if that kills the Cloudkin Seer. They're going to Gem Palm. Okay, so that kills anything. Alright, we didn't really need a Nissa. I'm glad they're using that now instead of when I have a Yarok out. Nope. Okay, so now they matron for Muxus, and now we're in trouble territory. They can do it now. Yeah, they can just sack their board. They choose to not, which is impressive. Now if they want to cast Muxus this turn, they have to get rid of their Prospector. Looks like they're going to do it, which is surprising. So they might not be able to keep going after this Muxus. Yeah, okay. Alright, board is clear. Muxus finds a lot of stuff. Okay, so they have enough to go off here. They have Goblin War Chief. Okay, so what do I do? Nothing's giving any of the stuff +1. So this is all in all not the worst case situation. Muxus is going to be the thing that I block here, though. Oh, man, I almost want to get rid of the Skirk Prospector. I think if I don't get rid of Muxus, then it's really bad. But actually, you know what? I'm going to do it like this. I take a decent amount of damage, but I prevent them from making additional mana. Okay. That was weird. Weird way of doing it. I go to 2. And, yeah, that ended up not being so smart. Okay, so we'll drop this down, get a land in. We have 2 mana here. We got the Mox Ruby, so we can play an Oracle. And unfortunately, they just have too many creatures. Bummer. We'll let them attack in. They have the Snoop. They show a land at the top, and it's Chieftain to buff everything for the win. We won't make any blocks here, and the opponent just gets to go in. No blocks. Alright, so we got ran over by goblins in round 3. Unfortunately, just no interaction in this deck means that we kind of have a hard time with that. Let's hop into round 4 now. Here we go. Alright, Here comes round 4. Let's go. Got double Yark in the opening hand. I don't think I'm keeping that. This is a much better hand. We haven't seen something with an Arboreal Grazer at the beginning. We'll get rid of the Oracle here, and we can try to ramp pretty hard. So if I go... So I'll have the... Oh wait, no, I don't have an untapped green source. Okay, well that's dumb. Okay, so... Cobra... Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is shock and play Cobra. Yeah, now I can do Cloud Conceer and Grazer. Oh, okay. Well, I will not block. I'll save that as a chump blocker. So now we have... This is just onto the battlefield tapped. So if I do Grazer, now I can't play one of my other things. So I think I'll just do a... this into Cloud Conceer. We'll get something that can block that speaker. I feel fine going in. I mean, I guess they might have something that flashes. No, they don't. They're just checking me. Keeping my board small. Another Merfolk. Interesting Merfolk build here. A lot of cards that I would not generally think to see played here. Okay, Miss Sequence. Nissa should have gone in first. I think I may have been able to play an Oracle there. No matter. Grazer in. And then I can either have an untapped Triome or an extra mana from Nissa. Like, I'll just put the... I want the colors more so than anything else, I think. Lotus Cobra can block the Silvergill Adept favorably, so that's good. We'll do that. And until we draw more lands, now we kind of don't really do too much. That's annoying. Still, everything is blockable. They find a Borrower, that's annoying. We're gonna lose something. I might as well trade since I don't have a land coming up. Just want to keep the resources low. Okay, so Oracle as a flyer can block stuff. Invasion could just get something that matters. I mean, if I can flip this, it's really good. There's a chance that they even want to borrow it, and then I can recast it for something better. I'm going to try to just do this. Let's go. Find a Risen Reef. Where are those Risen Reefs? There they are. And let's see if we find something. Find another Risen Reef. Sweet. I can't attack, but I will force them to kind of hold back blockers for that invasion. They're holding up Borrower. I have no interest in blocking a Merfolk Branchwalker. Might need to think about it soon though. Explorers, okay. Merfolk Trickster, huh? They gonna borrow this? I could see it. Okay, so I get my breeding pool. Can I go to my main phase? I think they're gonna borrow a Risen Reef. No, they're not. Okay, so I will shock this in. I'm gonna get a Oracle in first. Need something that can tangle with the Brazen Borrower. Alright, so that gets to shuffle in. Now I can double Risen Reef, and hopefully I'll be able to draw into a Moxin or Power 9 piece. Yep, so there goes one of them. Happy that they used it in that way. Now I don't have to deal with a 3-1 in the air. Okay, so we will go ahead and just chump here. Seems fine to me. Merfolk Trickster comes in at a very annoying time. We just have to play the Risen Reef anyway. Yep, so they tap my Risen Reef. Sure. Alright, get a land onto the battlefield. Razor out. And we'll put out this Overgrown Tomb. So what needs to happen in order for us to win here? Quite a lot. I think that we are looking not very good. They have the Borrower out, so we take potentially 2 from the Wind Robber. Yep, that makes sense. I'm gonna take 4 here. I could take 7. Okay, so now I have to triple block, or I have to block 3 times. This is a good block. Actually, no, that's not a good block. It should be like this, this, and this has to go on one of those, and then I get 1. And I don't think I get out of this one. Cloud Conceer? What could I even hit here? I could maybe hit a Yarok. I kind of hit these in the opposite order, but... Ancestral Recall. That is what the doctor ordered. We get a little bit. Oracle the Alpha. I think I need to just find a Yarok. What? Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. I should. Oh, it's 7 mana. Oh man. Okay, so I have to play another Oracle the Alpha then. Oh, the Ancestral really did help. Another Invasion doesn't help me now, and 1, 2, 3. If they go in with everything, I'm dead. Yeah, they got me. Okay. Just a little bit too late. Too shy, too late. I think if I was able to get a Yark out there, then my block would have kept me for another turn. Then, I mean, I don't really know if I would have gone very far from there, but there was a potential line. Alright, that was our round 4. We got a round 5 coming up. Let's see if we can really make the elemental deck go off this turn. Here we go. Alright, final round. Let's end strong. This hand has a Nissa. Like, we do need to find one of these things that can give us mana when lands come into play. So I'll keep this hand. Prosperous Innkeeper might be able to pad our life total a bit. Okay. So our 1 green source is this. So 1, 2 is our play. Boom on green, boom, Prosperous Innkeeper. The Nissa next. Let me have it, okay. So I think what I'll actually do is just play this on like black or something, and then Nissa. We want to keep that treasure around. So let's see, now with a untapped Watery Grave, I'd have 4, 5 plus Nissa mana for 6. So I'd have at most 6 mana. At most 5 if I want to save my treasure. Kozilek, okay, so they don't take anything really important from me here. So this will be Shock, Watery Grave, Innkeeper, Cycle, Triome. Green. Innkeeper. Tap. Okay. Cycle. They're stuck on 2 lands. That's probably the one saving grace of what's going on here. We do find a Yarok. That's huge. Plus Lotus Cobra. Okay. Boom. Let's see. I probably should have Yarked first. Yeah, I almost certainly could have Yorick first. I will keep a second land in hand, I think. Or what will potentially be a second land in hand. Let's see, 7 mana. I have to find a reef first. I think I probably should just cycle here because I need to start digging. They found their 3rd mana. That probably means all hell's about to break loose. They're passing through. Oh, no, they're not. Why is this looking weird? I don't need to be stopping on their turn. Okay, yeah, so I think I'll cycle. Real weird situation the both of us are in here. I can Lotus Cobra. Trigger, 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 trigger. Then my breeding pool now gives me a bunch of triggers. So we'll make some blue. And we'll make some green. We'll make some blue, and we'll make some green. Risen Reef, yes. Okay, so that's what I wanted to see. Risen Reef double trigger. Now we're starting to go off. Here it is. Invasion, another Risen Reef. So we'll do Risen Reef. Boom. We gotta hit a land here in order to get some more mana. There we go, there's a land. Go, blue, green, black, green. Okay, and our opponent sees that we are going to combo off right there. So in order to kind of continue this combo, what I think I would do is go Invasion into another Risen Reef. I could then follow up with Cloudkin Seers off of the mana that I get there, and then eventually cast an Oracle, find another Risen Reef or other elemental, and then continue from there. I would get my time walks and then attack through my opponent's defenses. Alright, so we were able to do it one last time for the final round. That was pretty fun. Elementals, kind of a cool little concept here. I don't think it's really super viable at a high end because as you see it takes kind of a long time to set up, but kind of fun deck to play. I love Yorick. He's such a good commander if you're into that game mode. But here in Constructed, we can actually do a pretty good impression of what he can do. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like to support the channel, subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out and have a good one.